Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Rafahar Digital Marketing Wala and I am a level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. Today I am calling Annie. I want to talk with her on the topic of being proud of doing the right thing. Now I am calling Annie and ask some question about this topic. Hello Annie, how are you?
Sounds exciting. What are you aiming to win this time? If you get a bit nervous, try a quick 3 deep breath pause, inhale, hold, exhale. It can help sharpen focus. Tell me more about your plan. Maybe I can toss in a tip or two.
Yes, okay. So today my topic is being proud of doing the right thing. Okay, and my first question is what does doing the right thing mean to you? Please give me 2 minute answer.
Doing the right thing to me is less about a grand standing moment and more about the quiet choices we make each day that line up with who we truly want to be. First, it means listening to the inner compass that whispers, is this aligned with my values? Instead of the louder external chatter that often pushes us toward convenience or approval. When I catch myself at a crossroads, whether it's returning a wallet I found on the subway, speaking up for a colleague who's being unfairly treated, or simply choosing to pause before snapping in a heated conversation, I ask, will this action reflect compassion, honesty, and respect? If the answer is yes, I'm leaning into doing the right thing. Second, doing the right thing is about responsibility to the larger web we belong to. It's recognizing that my actions ripple outward, like dropping a stone in a pond. A small act of kindness can lift someone's spirit. A careless comment can deepen someone's isolation. Keeping that ripple effect in mind helps me move beyond what's good for me to what serves the greater good. Third, it's about integrity over outcome. Sometimes the right thing doesn't bring immediate reward. It may even feel uncomfortable. Yet I see it as a practice of staying true to my word and principles, even when no one is watching. This builds trust, both in myself and in the relationships I cherish. Lastly, there's a mindfulness angle. I try to anchor each decision in a brief pause, taking 3 slow breaths, grounding my feet, and noticing any tension. That moment creates space for clarity, letting my heart's intention surface rather than reacting on autopilot. So, doing the right thing is a daily, purposeful alignment of thoughts, values, and actions, rooted in compassion, responsibility, integrity, and a splash of mindful breathing. It's not always the loudest gesture, but it's the one that steadies our inner peace and builds a kinder world around us. How does that vibe with the direction you want for your talk? Anything you'd like to expand or tweak?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. So my next question is how you ever done the right thing even when it was difficult.
Absolutely, there was one time that really stuck with me. A few years ago, I was working on a group project in my engineering class. We were all under a tight deadline, and halfway through the semester, one teammate, Maya, fell seriously ill. She missed a couple of meetings, and, because the work was piling up, the rest of us started feeling the pressure. One evening, I found a draft of her portion in a shared folder, half finished and riddled with notes that only she understood. It was clear she'd been struggling, but the deadline was looming and the rest of the team was already grumbling about how the project might suffer. I could have simply glossed over her missing sections, patched them with whatever I thought fit, and moved on. That would have been the easy route. The project would stay on track. The grade would likely be good, and I'd avoid the awkward conversation about who's not pulling their weight. Instead, I chose to do the right thing, even though it felt uncomfortable. I sent Maya a private, compassionate message. Hey, I saw you've been under the weather and noticed the draft. How are you feeling? Is there anything we can do to help you finish your part, or should we reassign some sections together? I opened the floor for her to share her situation without judgment. Maya replied that she'd been hospitalized for a week and felt terrible about letting the team down. She was too exhausted to finish her part, but she was relieved to know we weren't abandoning her. We collectively decided to redistribute some of her tasks, and I personally took on the sections that align most closely with her notes so the voice stayed consistent. It added a few extra late nights for me, but the group felt a deeper sense of trust and solidarity. When the project was graded, we got an more importantly, Maya thanked us for the support, and the experience reminded the whole team that integrity isn't just about the final product, it's about how we treat each other when the going gets tough. I still pause before making a decision that's easy but possibly unfair. A quick mindfulness check, 3 slow breaths, noticing any tension, helps me remember the bigger picture and choose the path that aligns with my values, even when it's the harder road. Have you ever faced a moment like that? I'd love to hear how you navigated it, or if you're still working through a tricky situation.
Yes, okay. So my next question is, why is it important to stay honest even when no one is watching?
Sticking to your values, even when nobody's watching, is like tightening the bolts on a bridge before you drive across it. Here's why that quiet integrity matters. Only builds genuine self trust. When you act with honesty in private, you train your inner compass to point true north. That habit turns "I'll do the right thing" from a hopeful slogan into a reliable reflex. Later, when real pressure hits, you won't have to wrestle with doubt because you already know you can count on yourself. Twa cultivates inner peace. The mind quietly notices the mismatch between what we say we value and what we actually do. Eliminating that gap reduces mental chatter, anxiety, and the guilt loop that pops up when we act only for show. A few deep breaths before a decision can remind you to align action with intention, and the calm that follows feels like a personal sanctuary. 3 sets a ripple effect. People may not see the moment, but they feel the result. When you consistently keep promises, meet deadlines, or treat others kindly in the background, you create a culture of reliability. Others pick up on that vibe, even subconsciously, and it spreads trust throughout families, teams, and communities. Faur protects long-term reputation. Reputation isn't just about what's visible today. It's a ledger your future self reads. Stories of the person who always does the right thing, even alone, become the foundation for opportunities, leadership roles, collaborations, or simply being the go-to person when a crisis strikes. 5 strengthens moral muscles. Discipline is a muscle. Each private act of integrity is a rep that makes the next one easier. Over time, you develop resilience, so when a high stakes situation arrives, a big decision, a temptation, a conflict, you have the stamina to stay true without needing an audience for motivation. Quick mindfulness dip. Before you decide whether to take the easy shortcut, pause for 3 conscious breaths. Ask yourself, if I walked away from this and no one ever knew, would I still feel good about myself? That brief check anchors you in the why behind staying harnessed, even in the shadows. In short, acting with integrity behind closed doors builds the solid, trustworthy version of yourself that you can rely on, no audience required. It's the backbone of personal growth, peace, and the subtle influence that eventually reaches far beyond the private moment.
Yes. Okay. So my next question is, how do you feel when you do the right thing?
When I actually follow through on what I know is right, a handful of feelings pop up, most of them warm, steady, and surprisingly grounding. Only a gentle lift of relief. It's that subtle exhale you don't even notice at first, like a soft sigh after you've been holding your breath. The mental knot that tension creates, what if I'm judged? What if it's hard? Loosens and the mind settles into a calmer rhythm. Tokwit pride, not bragging. It's not a flashy, I'm the hero sensation. It's more of a quiet nod to yourself. I was able to align my action with my values. That inner affirmation builds confidence for the next challenge, because you now have proof that you can act with integrity. 3 increased connection. If the right thing involves someone else, like offering help, apologizing, or standing up for a friend, I feel a deeper thread of trust forming. Even if the other person doesn't acknowledge it, I sense the subtle shift, a more open space between us. Foreigner peace that lasts longer than the moment. The calm isn't fleeting, it lingers through the rest of the day. It's the same kind of steadiness you get after a short meditation. The nervous chatter quiets, and you can focus more easily on whatever comes next. 5 a subtle boost of motivation. Doing the right thing kind of recharges the why behind my goals. It reminds me that the path I'm walking matters, and that fuels the drive to keep showing up honestly, even when the spotlight is off. All of these feelings are like a tiny, invisible armor. They protect against self-doubt and make future decisions feel a bit easier. I try to notice them with a quick mental check in: how am I feeling right now? And then let that awareness settle in through a couple of deep breaths. Your turn. Have you noticed any of those sensations when you act with integrity, or does something else stand out for you? I'd love to hear what shows up for you.
Yes. Okay. So my next question is, have you ever been proud of a decision you made with integrity? Please, a short answer.
Absolutely, I chose to stand up for a teammate who was being unfairly blamed, even though it meant extra work for me. Seeing how my honesty helped restore trust made me feel quietly proud and more confident in future decisions.
Yes. Okay. So my next question is, can doing the right thing make a difference in someone else's life?
Yes, doing the right thing can ripple into someone else's life in big, sometimes unexpected ways. A single honest act can restore trust, When you keep a promise or admit a mistake, the other person feels safe and valued, which often reshapes how they relate to others. Model possibility. Seeing integrity in action shows them that they, too, can choose the ethical path even when it's hard. Shift outcomes. A fair decision like giving a quiet student a chance to speak can change their confidence, grades, or even career direction. In short, your honest choices can be the quiet catalyst that helps another person feel seen, trusted, and empowered to make better choices themselves. Have you ever noticed a moment where your integrity sparked a positive change for someone? I'd love to
Yes.
hear the story.
Okay. So yes. So my next question is, why do some people choose the easy way instead of the right way?
Because the easy path often promises quick relief, less effort, less risk, and an immediate payoff. A few calming reasons show up. Own a short-term focus. The brain's reward system lights up when we avoid discomfort, so we gravitate toward the shortcut before the longer-term benefits of the right choice become clear. To fear of consequences. Making the right choice can feel risky. Conflict, loss of status. Choosing the easy way feels safer. 3. Habit and learn patterns. If someone's been rewarded for taking shortcuts before, it becomes a default strategy. 4. Limited awareness. Sometimes people simply don't see the ethical option or underestimate its impact. 5. Social pressure. If a group normalizes the easy route, individuals may follow to belong. A gentle mind check can help break the pattern. Pause, take 3 slow breaths, and ask yourself, what will I feel after this choice, short-term relief or lasting calm? That moment of awareness often nudges us toward the harder, but more rewarding path.
Yes. Okay. So is it okay to stand alone if you know you are doing what's right?
Absolutely, it's more than okay. If you're sure you're acting from your values, standing alone can actually be a sign of strength. Authenticity. You're staying true to yourself instead of blending in just to feel comfortable. Clear conscience. Knowing you did the right thing gives you inner peace, even if no one else notices. Influence over time. People often notice quiet integrity and may follow your example later on. A quick mindfulness check can help when that lone wolf feeling pops up. Pause, breathe in for 4 counts, hold 2, exhale 6. As you breathe, silently affirm, I am aligned with my values. That brings calm and steadiness. How does it feel when you're in that solo standing moment? Anything you'd like to unpack?
Yes. Okay. So my next question is, who inspires you to always do the right thing?
I'd say my grandma. She grew up in a tiny village in Punjab. Yet she always treated everyone with the same kindness, whether it was sharing a cup of tea with a neighbor or standing up for a stranger at the market. Her calm just do what's right vibe stuck with me, especially when I'm juggling art projects in Florence or a tough day at work. How about you? Who's the person that nudges you toward integrity?
Yes. Okay. So my next question is, how can we encourage others to act with honest and fairness?
Here are a few bite-sized ideas that usually stick. Oni modaled. Let your own honesty be visible. When you admit a mistake or share credit, people notice the calm it creates. Toij of kudos. Publicly praise someone for a fair choice. I love how you handled that. It was really balanced. Positive reinforcement reinforces the behavior. 3 Shar stories. Short anecdotes, yours or a classic fable, show the ripple effect of integrity. Stories are easier to remember than rules. Four create safe space. Let teammates know it's okay to speak up without fear of backlash. A quick I'm here if you need to share can open the door. 5 ES reflective questions. What would feel right for you in this situation? Invite self-checking before action. 6 micro commitments. Start with tiny honest acts. Let's all agree to give feedback honestly in tomorrow's meeting. Small wins build confidence. 7 a mindful pause. Encourage a 5-second breath before decisions. Inhale, hold, exhale. That pause lets fairness surface over impulse. Try sprinkling one of these into your next group chat or meeting and see what sparks. Your turn. Which of these feels easiest to try first, or do you have another idea that's worked for you?
Yes. Okay. So thank you very much. So my next question is, what do you do when other around you are making wrong choices?
When I see someone heading down a bad path, I try to keep it simple. One, stay calm. I take a quick 3 deep breath pause so my own emotions don't flare up. To listen first. I ask, what's going on for you? Sometimes the mistake is just a symptom of stress or confusion. 3 offer a gentle nudge. I share a short, non-judgmental observation. I noticed X might cause Y. Have you thought about? 4 modal the alternative. I demonstrate the choice I'd take without preaching. When I faced a similar situation, I 5 set boundaries if needed. If their decision harms me or others, I'm clear I can't support that because. And then step back respectfully. 6 let the lesson sink. I give them space to reflect. People often learn after the moment has passed. I once saw a coworker shortcut a report to meet a deadline. I quietly offered to help reorganize the data later, pointing out how a clean version would save us time next week. He accepted, and we both felt better after the deadline passed. What's the most common wrong choice you're encountering right now? Maybe we can brainstorm a specific way to approach it.
Yes, okay, thank you. So my next question is, can doing the right thing help build your self-respect?
Absolutely, each time you choose what feels right, you're voting for yourself. Why it builds self-respect. Oni alignment. Your actions match your values, so you stop the inner tug of war. That coherence feels grounding. To a proof of integrity. You gather evidence that you can be reliable, which boosts confidence in future decisions. 3 positive feedback loop. Doing the right thing often brings calm or gratitude from others. Those feelings reinforce the belief that you are worthy of respect. Four boundary reinforcement. Saying no to a shortcut or unfair request says, my standards matter, and that sharpens your self-esteem. A quick practice. After a moment of integrity, pause, take 3 deep breaths, and silently say, I honored my values. Notice the subtle lift in how you feel about yourself. Can you recall a recent time you chose the right thing and felt that inner boost? It can be a tiny victory, maybe returning a lost wallet or speaking up in a meeting. Sharing it can help lock that feeling in.
Yes, okay. So my next question is, why is it important to be proud of our good actions?
Feeling proud of the good things we do is like giving ourselves a tiny high five. It matters because Oner reinforces the habit. Pride lights up the brain's reward center, making it more likely we'll repeat the behavior. Two boosts self-respect. When we acknowledge our own integrity, we start seeing ourselves as trustworthy and worthy. 3 spreads positivity. Others notice genuine pride. It can inspire them to act kindly too. 4 balances humility. Being proud doesn't mean bragging. It's a quiet acknowledgement that we're on the right track. 5 nurtures well-being. A small surge of gratitude toward ourselves lifts mood and reduces stress. A quick way to savor that pride. After a good action, pause, inhale for 4, hold 2, exhale 6, and whisper to yourself, I did something meaningful. Feel that warm glow for a moment. What's a recent good deed you felt proud of? I'd love to hear the story.
Okay, so my next question is, do you think children should be taught about right and wrong early?
Yes, I'm a big believer that kids thrive when they get a gentle roadmap of right vs wrong early on. Here's why it matters and a few kid-friendly ways to plant those seeds. Why start early? Oni neural wiring. At a young age, the brain is superplastic, so concepts of fairness, honesty, and empathy stick quickly. Two confidence. Knowing what's expected gives children a sense of safety and reduces anxiety about what if I mess up. 3 social ripple. Early habits shape how they treat friends, family, and even strangers later on. Building a kinder community. Simple ways to teach right and wrong. Age what to do tiny mindfulness tip. 2 for your use stories and play acting egg. The sharing game. Highlight feelings. When you give a toy, Sarah feels happy. Pause together and notice the belly rise fall for 3 breaths. Say, I feel calm. 5-7 your introduce choice cards. A picture of 2 actions, one kind, one not. Ask which choice makes a friend smile. Before deciding, take a thinking breath. Inhale 4, exhale 4, then choose. 8-10 your talk about consequences and real-life examples egg. Why stealing a snack makes a friend sad. Encourage them to brainstorm better options. End the chat with a gratitude pause. List one thing they did well today. 11 invite reflection. How would you feel if someone did X to you? Discuss values like honesty, fairness, respect. Use a 1-minute body scan before a tough decision, notice tension, then release it. A quick fairness activity you can try tonight. Own a story swap. Read a short fable egg. The boy who cried wolf. Two talk it out. Ask, what did the boy do that was wrong? How did it affect others? 3 switch roles. Let the child suggest a better ending. Celebrate the creative, fair solution. Four seal it with breath. Take 3 slow breaths together, sing each inhale I'm ready to choose wisely, each exhale I release the pressure. Gentle reminders for you as a guide. Model before you lecture. Kids copy what they see more than what they hear. Praise the effort, not just the outcome. I love how you tried to share even when you wanted the game for yourself. Allow safe mistakes. When a slip happens, discuss it calmly. This teaches repair over shame. Do any of these ideas feel doable for the kids you work with? Or is there a particular age group you're thinking about? I'm happy to brainstorm a tailor made activity.
Yes, and thank you very much of your answering us. My last question is, in your opinion, what is the reward of living with honesty and values? Please give me a short answer.
Living honestly and by your values rewards you with inner peace, lasting trust from others, and a steady sense of self respect that keeps you grounded even when life gets tough.
Yes, okay, thank you very much. Viewer, this is my today call Annie, and I hope that you will like it. And see you in the next call Annie. Till then, Allah Hafiz and